Hello, my name is Maria Antónia Pires de Almeida, and I'm a researcher, and I've been studying local government. In Portugal, there are websites in every municipality, and now I've been studying how do they perform, how do municipalities divulge their information to their citizens, not only on their websites, but on social media. There are 308 municipalities in Portugal. They all have websites, and only 14 that don't use Facebook. This is important for democratic legitimacy because of transparency. When we study the quality of the information, we have access to visibility and to information, and it may increase citizen participation and mutual trust. Also, some authors wrote that it may improve turnouts in local elections. Therefore, it's important to study what kind of messages are local government sites and social media divulging to the people. I've studied some cases, not all of them yet. This is an ongoing project, and my goal is to study the contents of the sites and the political discourse of our local representatives. With the pandemic, I've also started to analyze the responses to the pandemic crisis and its management, and these are presented as case studies for e-government and trust building. With the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, a state of emergency was declared on March 18th by the President of the Republic. There was, as all over the world, there was confinement, restrictions, no circulation, and the economy was very much affected. But there was the supply of fundamental services and consumption products. Local government had new concerns and new budgets. From March to September 20, the Portuguese municipalities spent a lot of money on COVID-related expenses. What did they spend it on? They spent it on medical supplies, ventilators, tests, disinfectants, masks, gloves, vaccines in 2021, computer and internet services. They also made direct transfers to families and local associations, and they were particularly concerned about education. With schools closed, they had to provide services for distance learning. They distributed computers and internet services to students and school meals. There was also concern for assistance, particularly to the elderly, and support or partial cancellation of rent and water payments. Warnings and advice on municipal websites, and the communication on social media increased. And the bad part was the cancellation of all summer festivals and cultural activities. In Lisbon and Oporto, there was a change in the discourse, in the political messages. Before 2020, there had been a tourist boom, almost on the concept of over-tourism. This phenomena led to urban renewal, Old buildings were converted into expensive apartments, hostels, and short-term rentals. There was also almost a Disney-fied new town, overcrowded with tourists. Old neighborhoods were gentrified, families moved out, and seashore was always overcrowded in the summer. One of Lisbon's downtown parishes lost 20% of its voters, and 41% of its housing had been turned into tourist accommodation. There were cruise ships, which were a nuisance for locals. Air pollution, noise pollution, and local tourism didn't benefit with these crowds. Lisbon wasn't very happy about this mass tourism. There were tuk-tuks, segways, and then pandemic came, and after March 20, no more tourists, and the mayors changed their strategies and political discourses. In Lisbon, an affordable rent program had already been put in place. And by June 2020, Lisbon's mayor started saying he wanted to get rid of Airbnbs. And he began promoting a new program for the municipality to rent those tourist spaces to longer-term rentals. Also in Oporto, a new municipal program was launched, aiming to turn local tourist accommodations into apartments for long-term renting. Therefore, we can see that pandemics changed political discourse in local government. Municipalities started producing extensive contents in their websites, and some of them even did some videos to promote local resources. For example, in Avis, in the Alentejo region, they published a video titled, "We're on pause. Soon we'll be back to celebrate life with you." On June 5th, another video was published, "We're back to celebrate life with you." They really wanted people to come back, new tourists, to those inner regions which are completely different from Lisbon and Oporto. However, all summer festivals were cancelled, as well as most cultural activities. A good thing came out of this loss of tourists in Lisbon. Dolphins returned to the Tagus River. And here they are. Some conclusions. ICT tools and social media are being used in their citizens' best interests. We have noticed lots of increase of communication and information in social media and institutional websites. Municipalities have proven to be efficient in their first responses to families and the school community. There were investments on website content and social media information. The most active municipalities were concerned with divulging their representatives' actions and passing proper sanitary advice and recommendation. For many local councillors, this was a way of showing off their good work in preparation for the next 2021 local elections. Anyway, this is a positive attitude for improving democratic legitimacy, as transparency is an important tool for an informed election choice. Practical implications could be found in local representatives' awareness of the advantages of e-government and social media, not only as an election criteria, but mostly of their responsibility towards citizens and their territories and as public service. Some of these issues have already been talked about in my small paper published on this European Urban Research Association, as you may see in these links. And thank you very much for your company. I'll see you soon.